Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Juan's World in the middle of Carnival. But this week is also the week leading up to the Chinese New Year. The 12th and Friday is New Year's Day, Thursday is New Year's Eve. And so I'm combining some Asian ideas for Carnival together in a kind of fusion way. So you see I've got some rice paper here. Bought this rice paper a long time ago when I was making torrone before Christmas. Still got a lot left over. So I want to give you some ideas in case you've got some rice paper gathering dust in your pantry. And I've also got a little bit of nori here because I'm going to add that into the picture as well. So let's get cooking. Now, the first recipe couldn't be simpler. I've got some rice paper and I've made small pieces out of it. You can cut it if you want to be nice and regular, but I've just got these jagged pieces which I'm going to fry in a little bit of oil which I'm heating up right now. Now, we'll need to get it up to about 350 degrees centigrade. Fahrenheit, excuse me. And the best way to test this is to just have a little piece of rice paper that's broken off a little piece and place it in the oil. Now, right now the oil's not hot enough. As you can see, it's not really doing much when I put the rice paper in there. It just kind of sits there and bubbles a little bit. That's not hot enough. I'm going to have to wait a little while. Try again. It won't be too long, but I have to get it to the point where it's going to just puff up the rice paper very, very quickly, and you'll see in a second how that works. I'll try again a little bit. There we are, almost there. Okay, I'm going to take those two pieces out because they'll burn otherwise. Just one more trial. Yeah, there we are. That's it. And now, in a big piece. Whoosh, straight away. And onto some paper towels. Now I'm just going to make a batch and I'll come back. Now this is the small batch just on paper towels, but they're okay plain. I mean, they're a bit bland, if you like, and they don't last very long. You really have to eat them straight away, otherwise they become soggy. But the next thing you can do is take a Ziploc bag and add spices of your choice, that is powdered spices. Alright, so here you can see that I've put them in the Ziploc bag with some assorted spices. This is cumin and hot pepper and various other things. And now what I'm going to do is to shake it around. Don't want to break up the crisp rice paper, but I do want to spread the spices evenly. And now I'll show you. Here we have one of them, and this will make a very nice, delicious snack. So that's recipe number 1 with rice paper. All right, so most recipes that use rice paper, you see it here, are not using it stiff like this. This is how I fried it, just broke it up. But most of the recipes I'm going to give you now require softening it, and I have here a bowl of warm water. It doesn't need to be too hot, shouldn't be cold either, just warm. And what you're going to do is just roll the rice paper around in the warm water to soften it up. You can see it's almost immediately becoming pliant, and it's a little bit delicate because you have to get it so that it's easily malleable, because I'm going to use it to roll things up, and I want to be able to do that without breaking it, obviously, but I don't want to get it so soft that it falls apart. So here you can't probably see it terribly well on the video, but you have to take my word for it that it's now at the right stage for me to make some wraps. I'm just going to give you some basic ideas for wraps. There are many that you can achieve. This one I'm going to make is vegetarian. It's kind of like a salad wrap, if you like. I'm going to put some, here I've got some arugula, and you don't want too much, because you don't want to make the roll really fat, but you want it to be substantial enough. So start with the arugula. I'm going to add some tomato, nice color, and in this case I'm going to have dipping sauces. I always have dipping sauces, but I'm going to add a little bit of oyster sauce directly inside. Not a lot, just enough to season things to taste. And this is the trick, if you like. You need to start by taking the sides and rolling them over so that everything will hold tight. So I'm going to start that way and then bring up the bottom and then continue rolling with the sides brought in. There we go. And because it's slightly moist, it will hold together. And there's a fairly standard Vietnamese style summer roll. You can eat it raw, and so that's why I put salad ingredients in there, because I want to have it plain like that. You can also put rice in, so I'm going to make a roll with rice, and in the middle I'm going to put ham and egg, so you can consider it to be something like a breakfast roll. Now you can see that I've got a rice paper wrap laid out, and I've put some cooked rice at the edge, just like if you were making a sushi roll. And I'm going to make my own invention, which I call a breakfast wrap because it's got egg and ham in the middle. Could be bacon if you wanted. Just going to lay some strips of ham in the center. And then I've got some cooked egg. This is just pan fried. So it's kind of like a sushi roll, except it's not wrapped in nori, but in rice paper. Okay, same as always, I need to fold over the ends, sides I should say, so that everything is contained. And then I'm going to roll up. Now this one's a little bit big, but I think I can manage. Yeah, I want to make sure that the ham and egg go down into the center so that they are wrapped in rice. Ah, that looks just delicious. Now I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to make a package rather than a roll that I'm going to cook, and I'm going to fry it, but because the skin is wet, it's not going to puff up like it did in my original piece. Now first I'm going to start with half of a shrimp. I'm going to add some bean sprouts. Not a lot, but enough to make a nice package. And I'm making it flat because I'm going to be frying it. I could fry it round. I can also deep fry these. So I've got a shrimp piece on each side just to give it some nice aesthetics. I'm going to roll over the side on both sides, and then bring over the package like this. And the most important thing is to make sure that you get as much air out as possible, because when it starts frying, it's going to make the air inside, however much there is, expand, and if you're not careful, explode. So if you can see there's my shrimp and bean sprout package. Now I'm going to go over to the stove and shallow fry very gently on medium heat. I want to get it cooked completely, and the rice paper will crisp, but it won't get all like crinkly and like the original ones. It's going to be just nice and crisp. So let's move over to the stove. So here I've got the package in my skillet. I'm just going to let it cook gently on both sides. I'll keep checking, I'll keep flipping, and you can maybe see, I don't know if it's completely clear, that there we are. Maybe you can see that the shrimp is browning a little bit inside, but we'll keep going. It will take maybe about 5 to 7 minutes each side, but I'm going to keep flipping it just to make sure it's cooked evenly. Don't want to do this kind of thing with rocket or even tomatoes, really, but I could do this with rice. There we go. See, now the skin is nice and mottled. I'll just do the other side and that'll be ready to go. So here are my 3 wraps, and I've cut the salad one into 2 pieces as I would normally do with the others, but I just did that one for show. And I'm going to have my lunch now, and meanwhile, please, if you like my videos, tell your friends, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on Friday with more musings as I think of them. Have a good week.